Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And I had a lot of stuff to talk about in that other video, so I separated it into two. Just in, XRP whales relocate 66 million coins as price size $1. I see more and more people saying we're going to break $1 by the end of March. Let's hope that happens. That would be great because all the FOMO money will come pouring into XRP, and all that excitement for XRP will come rushing back as well. Ripple not manipulating XRP price, community pundit argues. So she leveraged at this argument to contend that Ripple's sales of XRP, though they had an impact on the price, do not translate to price manipulation surrounding Ripple's operations. Cherry emphasized that extensive audits and legal scrutiny have consistently shown that Ripple's business practices are above board. Notably, the SEC did not particularly accuse Ripple of suppressing XRP's price, but trying to increase it. In addition, she claimed that a federal judge's ruling backed by evidence has confirmed that XRP's market movements are in sync with Bitcoin. Now, if Ripple was just dumping that 1 billion tokens out there every single month out of the escrow, I would say, yeah, I'm fed up with this, because then it would take all the retail investors to buy up that 1 billion XRP. Otherwise, the price would definitely drop. But every time Ripple releases the 1 billion tokens, they end up buying back like 800 million of those tokens. If anything, Ripple's trying to stabilize the price of XRP, not move it up or down in any direction, because if they keep it more stable, it will attract more institutional investors. Now, once demand picks up for XRP, I don't think Ripple will be buying back that escrow at all. I think it will be getting bought up as quick as it's being released, because once the big institutional investors come in, that's going to change a lot of things. But we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. Notice how this scumbag regulator only talks about Bitcoin being a roller coaster, yet NYCB stock was falling off a cliff yesterday, and they had to halt trading, and the bank had to get a $1 billion lifeline. Take a listen to what Gary says here, but take a listen to his wording.
This is a highly speculative asset class. One could just look at the volatility of Bitcoin in the last few days. And look, I grew up loving roller coasters. Maybe in my adult years, I don't ride them as much, but you really should be conscious as the investing public that this is a bit of a roller coaster ride on these volatile assets. And then the question is how firm is the foundation of the, you get to the top of that hill,
So how firm is the foundation? The reason I think Gary said that right there is because he sees Bitcoin having no real value. Now, if he was talking about XRP, which is backed by a ton of utility, I think they would be talking about it in a much different way. Why isn't the SEC going after meme coins instead of XRP? Well, you heard Gary's wording there, and I think he's setting up for the same thing all these politicians are setting up for through regulations. If a cryptocurrency has no real use case, it's going to be gone anyway, so there's no sense in going after meme coins at all. And when it comes to Bitcoin, I think what's going to save Bitcoin is it's going to gain utility through Flare, and it's going to gain utility through other measures over time. It's not going to be part of the new financial system, though, like everybody keeps saying, because it's just too dated. It's too slow, and it's too expensive, and it's not green. So it doesn't fit any of the narratives when it comes to the new financial system. What do they all want? They want fast, cheap, secure, and green. And that's why XRP and the rest of these ISO cryptocurrencies are chosen to be part of ISO. But Gary, when he talks about volatility, that's what got most of us into crypto. We're here because we want those swings to happen inside of crypto. You know, a major swing to the upside could make a lot of people rich overnight. Even the United States and European Union has plans in 2024 for possible actions regarding their plans for 6G. Now, I've seen a lot of talk about 6G lately. Global progress, international cooperation of the development of 6G. This is essential for the immense data transfer that blockchain cryptocurrencies will bring into traditional networks, 100%. And that could be what they're preparing for. Plus, the new financial system, they're not going to want to run it on something slow. So it seems like every single country is pushing towards 6G right now. The Web3 banking landscape. At the Web3 banking symposium in Geneva, companies such as Ripple and Medico form the foundation for traditional banks due to the regulatory framework. And you see technology providers, blockchain custody, liquidity providers, know your customer, anti-money laundering solutions, Ripple, Medico, Ledger, Taurus. And you know, every time they have these events, Ripple always has a seat at the table. And the people that are attending these events are usually people that are heads of big corporations or banks as well. Think about how to ensure that there's a check to slow down the startup from gaining market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now. Take a listen to this, because Gary's telling you exactly how and why they slowed down Ripple.
Monopolist with another central monopolist, a lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now, part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there, and you give them the native token. So there may be other incentive ways to beat the current monopolist. But I, having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges, credit agencies. But they are deeply understanding, because they are pretty ambitious and very good at making money as well. They deeply understand that every idea that's pitched to them is somebody who currently is small but wants to get big and gain market power. So they're also always thinking about how to ensure that there's a check to slow down your startup from gaining market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now. They don't want you to be the next clearinghouse like the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or Intercontinental.
And that's exactly why they slowed down Ripple and XRP. And JP Morgan was leading the charge through the SEC and their politician friends. But take notice how Gary said you got to give up market share, or maybe you devise a token and you give that up so that you can get in there and start growing out. The problem is Ripple didn't want to give up that escrow. But I think at some point that escrow is already pre-planned to go to the IMF, the BIS, the Fed, not JP Morgan and these other banks. And I think that is why we are where we are right now. And he even said to slow them down 5, 10, and 15 years. And I think Gary failed at slowing down Ripple for 5 years, because this case is going to wrap up this year. And all of a sudden, we're going to see Ripple expand out at a very fast pace. It's going to be absolutely game-changing. XRP is going to rise in value so quick when that happens. Because of crypto, young people are now getting into finance, economics, and politics more than ever. I've never seen so many people reading legislation, rule proposals, legal briefs, and judgments. It shows a real interest and not just acquiring crypto, but also understanding every aspect of the ecosystem. Very refreshing. You know, once you get into crypto, everything changes very fast because all of a sudden your eyes are open to everything. You know, before you got into crypto, you went to your everyday 9-to-5 job and you went through life aimlessly. Then all of a sudden you became a crypto investor. You started learning all those things, finance, economics, and politics. And then you started understanding how the world works, how the big banks work. And before you know it, you became an expert on crypto, like over the course of a couple months. And that's what's game-changing about crypto. It's also life-changing because you learn patience as well if you're a crypto investor. But it's also a lot of fun being here. And the people are great people. And they're like-minded people. They're the same as you are. Because most of you got here through a vision you had for this crypto or that crypto. But what kept you here is because as every single day, as you live and breathe crypto, you get more excited about your investment. You start to see where your cryptocurrency is going to be a couple years from now. You start to see how you could get very rich from this. And before you know it, crypto becomes a very big part of your life. Let's just put it that way. And, you know, that's why I'm always positive about crypto, because I live and breathe it on a daily basis. And, you know, it's not just in these videos. It's in life. I will run into somebody and I'll start talking to them about Fed now, or I'll start bringing up crypto and seeing where they are at on crypto. Most people aren't even invested in crypto. And so many people are so stuck on this traditional system, especially people that have money. You know, crypto brings the working class here, the retail investor. And now we're investing alongside the institutional investors because they're just catching up now. Wait until they're all on board and we're all going to be massively rich by then. Musk continues X payment plans. If it involves money, it'll be on our platform. Money, our securities, whatever. You won't need a bank. And, you know, when it comes to X becoming a payment platform, that's going to be very big, I think, when it happens. And everybody's going to argue that Elon's going to use XRP or XLM or some other cryptocurrency. We don't really know. Everybody's still speculating right now. But, you know, once X starts pushing in this direction, they're saying this is going to happen by the end of next year. I think that's going to change everything in the traditional banking system because anybody that is on X now will start to bank through X because it's a better alternative. I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of ways to earn off your money as well. But we'll pay attention to that once we get there. Just in, Fed Chair Powell testifies before the House Financial Services Committee. Basil III proposal could get done this year. Take a listen to what Jerome Powell says about Basil III.
Process of amending the Basil requirements. I mean, have you guys made a decision about where to set the threshold yet? And when do you expect to set that threshold?
We haven't made any final decisions. We put out for proposal some months ago a proposal, and we've gotten a lot of comments, as I'm sure you're aware. We're chewing through those and digesting them, and we're just beginning now to sit down and talk about the changes that will appropriately make to the original proposal.
And when do you expect to sort of issue a final proposal?
I think it's going to take some time. I think it's more important to do it right than it is to do it fast. My guess is we'll get through this and be done over the course of this year.
I think Basil III is going to change so many things because in this third Basil Accord, a framework that sets international standards for bank capital adequacy, stress testing, and liquidity requirements. Think about that. The banks have been manipulating the system so long that they're not going to know how to do it in a compliant way. And I think we're going to see a lot of problems in the banking system as time goes on. But Powell doesn't even seem like he's working on it yet. He's kind of doing nothing. DXY USD is crashing. Called it perfectly. I'm on absolute fire lately. You know what happened the last time we got a really big leg down, right? That was 2017. And like I've been telling you along the way, I'm more focused on the DXY chart than the XRP chart. Because once the DXY starts to fall, crypto is really going to start to take off. And it looks like we're headed downward right now. So like I said, we could possibly see a new all-time high today for Bitcoin. New, NASA prepares for internet apocalypse. Threat from impending solar storm by 2025. So first we get cyber attacks. Now we got NASA saying an internet apocalypse is going to happen next year. Everything that they've always been telling us has to come down to either the power grid goes down or the internet goes out for a period of time. And then all of a sudden the new financial system rises. But these doomsday, predictions that they're always giving us, it all plays in factor with what we've been told all along as XRP holders. So we're already expecting this. But then every time they announce this and they put it out there on the mainstream media news, I think it's like a distraction to keep people away from crypto, keep people away from keeping their, getting their money out of the broken banking system. They want to ride this current system until the wheels come off, and then they want a new system. So is the new system going to happen in 2024? Is it going to come in 2025? Are we going to have an easy transition? Nobody really knows. All I know is I'm going to be holding XRP when it all happens. But until it does happen, you got to stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.